It's a lovely good evening today, the 1st of August 2021, to present Camnet TV main news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Top stories in the news tonight. Family of murdered PF CADRE speaks out as UPND claims one of the two victims was their member. President Edgar Lungu unleashes the army to curb political violence. Poor management of the graveyard by SOLWEZI Council annoy residents. In international news, nearly 200 migrants rescued off the Libyan coast. And in sports news, West Ham remain in talks with Chelsea over defender Kurt Zouma.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097 975 3010 or 096 296 5883, as well as 096 244 726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello once again, another news in detail. The Human Rights Commission has condemned the killing of two suspected Patriotic Front supporters by suspected United Party for National Development UPND supporters in Kanyama Township. Human Rights Commission spokesperson Mwelo Amulea says the horrendous act of depriving the victims of their right to life by mutilating their bodies must be punished in accordance with the law in order to end impunity. Mr. Mulea says the brutal killing of the duo is repugnant to the fact that all human beings are endowed with reason and conscience and must act towards each other in a humane manner. Mr. Mulea says it is regrettable that the apparent politically related murder happened barely 3 days after the Human Rights Commission called on all political party leaders to order their supporters to lay down their weapons of violence and stop all forms of violence.
The Human Rights Commission wishes to commend the Zambia Police Service for swiftly arresting the suspects in that murder, and we call upon them to ensure that they adhere to the due process of the law, particularly Articles 15 and 18 of the Constitution of Zambia, Chapter 1 of the Laws of Zambia, to ensure that justice is done and there is no miscarriage of justice. We appeal to various stakeholders, emotive as this case may be, to refrain from interfering or influencing the Zambia Police Service from undertaking their professional and independent investigations in this matter. We know that the case of murder, like any other capital offense, requires a high burden of proof in the courts of law, and therefore we call for thorough investigations to ensure that innocent people do not unnecessarily be punished without any recourse to the rule of law.
And the family of Danny Kasongo, one of the two murdered Patriotic Front members, has called on the police to bring the perpetrators to book. A check by Camnet TV at the funeral house of the deceased, the family representative has described the late as a breadwinner who leaves behind 4 children and a wife. The family has also called for a stop to political violence before many lives are lost. Meanwhile, PF party officials visited the funeral house to offer their condolences, promising to ensure that the victims' lives are not lost in vain. We have more in this report.
Danny Kasongo, 37, one of the victims of political violence that happened in Lusaka's Kanyama compound Friday between the United Party for National Development and the Patriotic Front, leaves behind 4 children and a wife. A somber mood has characterized the family and the neighborhood of the victim, who was murdered gruesomely. Kasongo narrates with pain written all over his face at the loss of his brother.
Wanga inototera maningi ivangono wamilwanga situzitiza mili muchitapa inoyamikira kwambiri polisi hafuna kugira chito yao according na situation imene achitikira si situation ya musha Afrika Zambia polisi vazachita na chipani kumbali kwao Afrika bagwirizane na Zambia polisi vazachita because naife defi nyova yani one brother watu akufamu chilaso
government iti atuafirisha kuba lupwa kusunga lupwa lwasha abana beni n'abakashi bako pamopene n'abanyina abafyalo uyu brother wesu iti batuafirisha ko mukwayi kusambirisha kwa abana bene abashala beni no kwafirisha na bambyobo aba family obo ali afirisha uyu muntu.
And Patriotic Front party officials who visited the funeral house and donated some foodstuffs have promised to see to it that justice prevails.
To the family that has lost a brother, I want to encourage you that be strong. We are with you and we are not leaving you alone. You are part of our big family in Patriotic Front. What has happened, it won't go just down like this. We are taking it. When one goes down, we all go down and we stand together. Touch one of us, you touch all of us. This is the country that is one Zambia, one nation. Blood will not spill to take power in this country. Be with us and we are with you. We encourage you to stand with us and we stand with you in the times like this. We are a bigger family. Patriotic Front will not leave you alone. We'll stand with you. The chairman is here and we'll make sure that this family remains as a symbol of solidarity.
PF National Mobilization Committee member Bizwa Mutale says the PF will not be tempted to react but allow the officials to do the right thing.
And we have not actually reacted to this, but we are concerned as a nation. We are concerned as a party. Patriotic Front has not retaliated even to throw a stone back. We want to adhere to peace accord that was signed at Mulungushi. To date, our opposition leader has failed to denounce, even in this kind of a tragedy we're in.
Police have, however, apprehended 4 suspects in connection with the incident. Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, the United Party for National Development, UPND, has charged that one of the 2 people who lost their lives in the violence that occurred Friday, the 30th of July 2021 in Kanyama, was one of their supporters, Danny Chingangu, and note what is being reported that both of the people who died belong to the ruling Patriotic Front, PF. Party National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Lisoniso was speaking when addressing the media on Sunday. Meanwhile, UPND Elections Chairman Gary Nkombo has called on the police service to be objective, alleging that the political party has for a long time been victimized. We have more in this report.
The death of 2 people in Lusaka's Kanyama compound owing to electoral violence only a few weeks after political parties affirmed to peace through the signing of a peace accord has brought tension in the country. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, Saturday firmly stated that upon concluding investigations on how 2 alleged Patriotic Front PF supporters lost their lives, action would be taken. Recently, the electoral body suspended the United Party for National Development UPND and the Patriotic Front PF for a set period after it was reported that the 2 political parties were engaging in this vice. The UPND, however, has alleged that one of the 2 people who died during the Kanyama violence was a UPND member, Danny Chingangu, who has been with the party for a long time. UPND National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Liswaniso was speaking when addressing the media Sunday.
So I want to make it very clear that among the 2 people who died the day before yesterday, Danny Chingangu is our member. Danny Chingangu has been our member, our vice secretary chairman for Chinika Ward. The PF they know, the police they know. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Chingangu was arrested at City Market. The records are there, and was given a case of malicious damage. Our 2 members went to the market to go and buy relish to a play camp, campaign center, and then they were followed by 8 to 9 youths of the PF. When they reached near our campaign center. That's how our members were beaten. But good part of it that the community, they came together and protect our members. When they were defeated, they went back again, the PF, to go and regroup people at Kamgodi, to go and attack back. In that process, our member was killed.
Party elections chairperson Mr. Garin Kombo, speaking at the same event, has challenged the police to prove that their party members participated in the killing, calling for fairness when dealing with all political parties.
We would like to state that we have sent a communique to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, making it very, very clear, in no uncertain terms, that the ECZ must stay in their lane. The ECZ must remain in their lane. They know Joram died last week. We never had a comment from the ECZ. They have no clue, I suppose, what happened in Kanyama. So I would like the police also to remain in their lane and conduct a professional investigation that is void of emotion. A professional investigation that is void of an emotion. Obviously, a death is a very emotive thing, but police are trained. They are trained not to be partial in their investigations.
Only 10 days remain before Zambia votes in the general elections. Zipora Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
And the United Party for National Development Elections chairperson Garin Kombo has revealed that the party will write to Fly Emirates Company so as to ascertain the owner of the cargo which was packed alongside the country's ballot papers last Friday. Addressing the media Sunday, Mr. Kombo states that it is impossible for an airline to pack cargo without knowing the owner and says citizens should therefore demand answers. When the country was receiving its last consignment of ballot papers for 47 constituencies on Friday, cargo which was not part of the ballot consignment was spotted being offloaded from the airplane.
They owe this country an explanation. And this time we're writing a letter to Emirates, the airline that brought the ballot papers, for them to explain how cargo that was not on the manifest could find itself in the boxes where the ballot papers are. Where did these funds come from? Who is the consigner? Who is the consignee? What is the purpose of these particular gadgets that came without document trail? What are they for? Could it be true? And I hate to be an advocate of do what we hear that they intend to do what Ugandans did, to shut the internet on the day of the elections so that the election management of results is tampered with. Would like to send a warning to you, ECZ. Those phones must be displayed by all interested parties and quarantined away, very far away from this electoral process. These are the things that bring consternation in a nation. These are the things that bring anxiety in a country. Judge Chulu, this is squarely on you, Bwana. Whose phones are those?
Republican President Edgar Lungu has ordered the deployment of defense forces in violence hotspot areas in Lusaka in order to curb the violence among political players ahead of the August 12 general election. This follows the death of two Patriotic Front members in Kanyama constituency. President Lungu says he has allowed the defense forces to join hands with the police to maintain law and order. He says this directive may extend to other provinces as the situation allows. The head of state made the remarks in Mbala when he met traditional leaders. However, rights actors have been of the view that deploying military personnel would affect voter turnout. Meanwhile, President Lungu has tasked Zambian citizens to take interest in projects that are under construction in their localities. Speaking when he inspected a $29 million United States sanitation project in Mbala district, President Lungu says citizens should not wait for the projects to be completed before they can complain about the poor workmanship. The head of state says citizens have a right to monitor and question projects if they feel things are not being done properly by a contractor. And traditional leaders in Mbala district have pledged to support President Lungu in the 2021 general elections. We have details in the following report.
Government of the Republic of Zambia, under the leadership of President Edgar Lungu, has witnessed massive infrastructure developments. The developments have been received with various criticism by stakeholders who question the durability of some of the infrastructure projects. President Lungu, who inspected the sanitation project in Mbala district, has challenged Zambians to take interest in projects that are under construction in their area. The president says citizens have a right to monitor and question projects if they feel they are not being done properly by a contractor.
Zambia is to cooperate with support the engineers on site, the government system, so that at the end of the day we expedite the work. So what we see is sometimes few afraid of raw materials, but I don't think you're experiencing that problem here. That's perspective. I think we should be our own keeper.
There are no people who have influenced around this place.
Right.
So basically this was strategically positioned, because we had the people from ZOUMA to approve the positioning of this sewer pond. Upon approval, that's when the commencement of works started. Without an approval, we could have not gone ahead.
And President Lungu proceeded to meet traditional leaders in the area. The president has since appealed to traditional leaders to support a leader who will bring development in the country and not division.
atwala okuyantashi pantashi kubula manemushina bashamfumu atwala monsipantu abafuayo kuyantashi nanjira bonkomshiro kuti abantu awusendele abakala mushi eba ishuka tapanomba kwena chababwina imrenda bwina shirenda so nalomba kuti nomulesala masala bayamke abafuayo kabomba nabo bakamishe kunuma kutelanda kuti no one should be left behind bashamfumu manemushi abashima people.
And traditional leaders have pledged to continue rallying behind President Lungu and his running mate Professor Nkanduluwo in the coming August general elections.
To request you, ili twala pita patuo, gaya pita fetuo, mwachitako na seto paria. Mwatu hivu kishaboku titika tule shala, teti fititika fionse pamo. Communication, utumatawazi mwatulundi la kufa fene kwa tuachitako improve ka communication. Please look into that. Our communication in some areas is still very bad, but we just need that to improve. Mwatu transport.
Twalilanda pamulando wa kuvota wino tatulefu efyongo kuno. Ifyongo twalifikana. Although natuishata ma areas yamo kwale befyongo lero tuwebeba kutatawe ifwe tulefu atukachimfanye fe kuivote noti kufyongo.
The head of state also took time to condemn the violence that has continued to characterize the campaign period, where he assured traditional leaders that he will work with the Zambian police to ensure that law and order is brought back into the country. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Aspiring parliamentary candidates contesting the forthcoming election in Lubasenshi constituency in Northern Province have acknowledged the need to uphold peaceful campaigns, saying conflict is detrimental to national development. Democratic Party Lubasenshi constituency aspiring candidate Sunday Ngambi says political parties must focus on mobilizing voters and only the electorate will choose the winner. And Patriotic Front aspiring candidate Chewe Taulo says unity in diversity must be encouraged with a view of taking the country forward.
We shift attention to northern Zambia to zoom in Lubansenshi constituency. The area was previously led by Lazarus Chota under the Patriotic Front in the year 2006. In the year 2011, Patrick Micheleka represented the people as an independent, and from 2013 up to date, the seat was under the watch of George Mwamba of the Patriotic Front. In this year's general elections, there are some new faces seeking to represent the people in the National Assembly. Some candidates engaged by this journalist underscored the need to hold violence-free polls Democratic Party aspiring candidate Sunday Ngambi says only people will determine the winner.
Let's be peaceful. Let's campaign on issues. Let's respect each other. That is what we need. This campaign is just a simple game. It's a game for the participants who are the members of parliament, the councillors and so on. Play your game and expect the people to vote for you on the basis of the issues that you are addressing.
And Patriotic Front aspiring candidate Chewetaulo preached the importance of coexistence during the general election.
As a Patriotic Front, we believe in the ideology of Patriotic Front to ensure that one Zambia, one nation motto always prevail to our people, especially here in constituency. And I'm glad that as a candidate for Lubansenshi constituency under PF ticket, we are happy that those people who may think of that Lubansenshi constituency will be violence, I would like to assure them that there will be no violence, because the president himself, Dr. EDGAR has been on record preaching peace, because it's peace that can bring meaningful development. It's peace that can bring schools. It's through peace that can construct roads and other things that the Zambians are looking for. Equally, Lubansenshi constituency.
And a social scientist, Innocent Kolala, who is in the area to conduct voter education, is happy that political parties are keen on holding peaceful elections.
Unlike other areas where we could see that political parties were hiring cadres to come and beef up on the campaign, this is not happening here in LUNGU, especially in Lubansenshi constituency. This is exactly what we have been looking for and what we are encouraging even to other constituencies to ensure that please no cadres should be hired from outside the ward, outside the constituency, outside the district, outside the province, because such hired cadres are the ones actually who bring confusion in these constituencies, be it in wards as well as in the province, because they have nothing to lose.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
The Operation Young Vote has charged that the procurement of 100 fewer tankers by the government for youth empowerment lacks policy backup, making accountability and sustainability of the project difficult. Speaking to Camnet News in an interview, Operation Young Vote Acting Executive Director Isaac Mwale says government did not at any point in the 2021 national budget plan for the resources it has used to procure the tankers, meaning resources have been misplaced. And energy expert Johnson Chikwanda says government should be commended for procuring the 100 fuel tankers for the youths, adding that fuel is a booming business which will enable local people win tenders of transporting fuel into the country. We have details in the following report.
The release of 50 more fuel tanker trucks last week to various youth cooperatives by the government has attracted various reactions. In total, 100 fuel tankers have so far been given to various youth beneficiaries. Operations Young Vote Acting Executive Director Isaac Mwale says the procurement of the tanker truck is a misplacement of resources, considering that a similar project where government procured Higer buses for youth empowerment ended up being a waste of resources.
You can remember there is no line which supports this procurement. But apart from that, our budget is thinly distributed. Most of the money goes towards debt servicing and the likes, and the thin portion which remains is distributed across, which leaves the budget very difficult to manage, and the number of sectors lacking with regards to appropriation of those resources. One sector which we can mention is the lack of payment for the retirements, and that is an urgent thing as people are in distress. And yet the government goes ahead to go and spend on an unbudgeted activity like the procurement of this is a source of worry. And
he adds that government should have first considered enacting better policies on how such empowerments can be sustained and ensure that beneficiaries are not politically inclined but youths with a passion to make a difference.
Done haphazardly. They lack policy backup, and in such a way it becomes difficult to account for them but also to sustain them. The youths who are beneficiaries to such empowerments are just taken in secrecy. It's not an open program where all the youths have access to that, and maybe they are weighed and given according to those who can manage them. The other worries are stemming from the previous activities where we have had a number of youth empowerment programs which have failed to materialize.
But energy expert Johnson Chikwanda is of a view that the initiative is a good move which will allow local youths to venture into the fuel exporting business. He has since challenged the beneficiaries to look for means of partnering with businesses already in the sector to learn more on how the business can be sustained.
What we have seen is something that is unprecedented. It is something that has never been heard of, and I expect them to succeed because the fuel transportation business in this country is very, very lucrative, extremely lucrative. So even if it is 1 tanker per cooperative or 2 tanker per cooperative, I expect them to benefit significantly. And this has to help with the empowerment in terms of reducing the youth poverty levels which is beset among them. So
for now, we can only observe how the implementation of the project will unfold. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
You're watching Camnet TV Main News. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more news after the break.
President Edgar Lungu and the Patriotic Front have transformed the transportation sector by facilitating the construction of bus stations around the country. Vote for Edgar Lungu and the PF that have brought you change.
In this fast-paced era of industrial boom and population growth, there is need to invest in smart ways of managing electricity and water consumption and reducing utility billing costs associated with the postpaid billing system. At Savenda Electronics, we manufacture right here in Zambia different types of high-quality smart electricity and water meters to customer specifications. Savenda Electronics water and electricity meters help you monitor your usage and gives notifications such as low units, tampering, low battery, and many other features. These easy-to-use meters makes it easier to buy units even in these COVID times and top up just from the comfort of your space. Favorable contract terms are available to both electricity and water utilities. For more details, get in touch with us on the following numbers: 0956 580 349 or 0977 498 318. Savenda Electronics, the real deal.
On August 12th, we have a choice to make. Perhaps the most important choice in our country's history. One option is to stick with this government and keep things how they are. But after 10 years, we all know what this will mean. More unemployment, more empty plates, more empty pockets. But yet, alternatively, we can embrace change. Change that will create jobs, reduce prices, and more importantly, put food on our tables. Change that will restore hope and move Zambia forward. Sometimes, politics can feel complicated, but this choice could not be clearer. Change for a better life, or 5 more years like the last 10. On August 12th, the choice is yours. The future of your family, the future of our country is in your hands.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes, and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Mastersign, we will make it shine.
Africa is rising to a new dawn of integrity and accountability. Are you tired of being swindled or buying fake or illegal properties? Would you like to sell or buy genuine property? Would you like to list your property on both local and international market? Don't waste your time. Call the professionals, the SGK Properties, on +260 762 166 018. SGK Properties. Your business assurance is our priority.
Welcome back. You're still watching Camnet TV Main News. The Lusaka Avocado Multi-Purpose Corporation has received a letter of intent from Augeo SRL of Italy, in which the company has expressed its desire to be procuring 960,000 kilograms of Hass avocado monthly. Speaking to Camnet News in an interview, Avocado Cooperative Union of Zambia Chairman Engineer Patrick Mutimushi says that once the contract is actualized, it will enable the country earn forex and create employment for the local people. Mr. Mutimushi adds that the receipt of the letter of intent mandates his corporation to commence the process of fulfilling key conditions that will ultimately lead to the eventual signing of the contract between the two parties. He has since called on farmers in Zambia interested in growing avocados to join the association.
The letter of intent came with conditions. One of the conditions was that we should be able to meet the demand of 960,000 kilograms of Hass avocado on a monthly basis. And obviously, with that kind of demand, we should have hectareage that is producing that kind of Hass avocado. If you translate, and depending obviously so many factors, the spacing that you're planting your trees, we are talking about in the range of 60 to 100 hectares of production of land of Hass avocado to produce that kind of amount. We are aware that in this country we do have white farmers producing Hass avocado in Mukushi, in Kabwe, and with this letter of intent, remember this is a letter of intent that will eventually lead to crystallizing a contract between the Lusaka Avocado Multi-Purpose Cooperatives, and things like pricing and so forth will be included in there. The other aspect which came in the letter of intent was the quality and the standard that needs to be produced.
A development activist, Louis Mwape, has called on the government to take the revamping of the country's railway sector seriously, stating that Zambia is still among countries in the world that are not fully benefiting from the railway transport due to an underdeveloped railway system. Mr. Mwape says that revamping the railway transport will benefit the country in many ways, as it will ease the connection of major centers of economic activity. Mr. Mwape further says if the country is to achieve its 2030 agenda of having a well-established transport system, there is need to diversify on transport systems, unlike mainly depending on roads. We have more in this report.
Transport plays an important role in development as it links major markets, facilitating trade. As part of its development agenda, Zambia hopes to have a well-established transport system by 2030. Many developed countries have modified their railway sectors, making rail one of the fastest and most preferred modes of transport. Zambia's railway sector, however, still faces constraints such as poor infrastructure and an underdeveloped railway system. This makes it a less preferable mode of transportation. A development activist, Mr. Lewis Mwape, states that there is need for Zambia to redevelop its railway sector so as to have diversified transport systems.
Key investments that our country needs to consider, especially when it comes to development of the rail infrastructure. I think we have not done so much, especially when we are looking at the intertown and also intercity. rail transport systems. If we aim to reduce poverty, then we need to ensure that our investment in the rail sector is adequate, so that people can reduce the cost of transport at this level, because many of the cost issues are on transport.
While the country acquired a Eurobond nearly 10 years ago towards the revamping of the railway sector, the development of this sector is yet to be seen. Camnet News has reached out to the Ministry of Transport and Communication to get information on the matter through a press query, as various calls made have gone unresponded to. Zipporah Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Media Network on Child Rights and Development, MNCRD, has called on various stakeholders to invest in the fight against human trafficking in the country. Speaking during an exclusive interview with Camnet TV, Media Institute Child Rights Director Mr. Henry Kawe states that more resources are needed to ensure that people are well sensitized and participate in curbing the illegal practice. He says government should implement viable policies that will protect citizens, especially the children who tend to be vulnerable to this vice. Mr. Kawe has since called on the general public to take keen interest and join efforts to curb human trafficking, which is prevalent in the country.
The government has launched the policy to curb human trafficking in Zambia, because this is one of the issues that has been overlooked for a long time. A lot of people do not think that human trafficking is something that is prevalent in our society. So it is good that the policy has been launched. What is important is to ensure that people are sensitized. People should be made aware about this danger which is happening within our country, and the fact that a number of people are being trafficked, outside the country. People are given promises, and when they reach other countries, they are made to, or they are forced into sex work after grabbing their essential documents. So these are things that are supposed to be kept, and children have actually fallen prey to such kind of activities.
Government is encouraged at the improvement recorded in the fight against the COVID-19, reminding the Republic to continue adhering to the health guidelines and measures. In a statement, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. Kennedy Malama says in the past 2 weeks, the country has seen a reduction in positivity, hospitalizations and deaths. And in the last 24 hours, 477 new confirmed COVID-19 cases were reported out of 6,014 tests, representing 8% positivity. This brings the cumulative number of confirmed cases recorded to date to 196,293. Meanwhile, 17 new COVID-19 related deaths occurred in the last 24 hours. The Permanent Secretary has also noted that with less than 2 weeks before the general elections, it is crucial that a safe environment in which the elections can be held without compromising on health and safety of the people is maintained. The Solwezi Municipal Council has been urged to improve and maintain the surrounding of Kimateto Graveyard. A resident of Solwezi, Julius Kabinga, has expressed concern over the poor state of the fee-paying burial site. Mr. Kabinga regrets that despite the council charging 5,000 kwacha for the burial site, they are failing to maintain it. And when contacted for a comment on the matter, Solwezi Municipal Council Public Relations Manager Esther Chirwa was not available as the phone went unanswered.
No way that the Solwezi Municipal Council can be charging this cement 5,000 kwacha each burial site, but now it's not being maintained. There isn't, you can't see any difference between this one that they are charging at 5,000 with that other ordinary one. They should maintain this so that it should be attractive to the people. But now what is the main essence of paying 5,000 for this burial site? That to the council. First of all, where are they taking this 5 feet for this burial site? Now, where are they taking this money? And what is it meant for? if they pay the workers, but now the workers should be maintaining this value site. But now look at the value site. It looks as if maybe it is just an ordinary value site. What is the purpose? Nothing.
Well-wishers have donated 1,200 kwacha for medical aid to a Chainda man with a bone fracture. This follows a story captured by Camnet TV recently, where Kelvin Sekasweka, 26, was involved in a traffic accident, resulting in his hip bone fracture. Saturday, Road Safety Ambassador Zambia RSAZ officials visited the family and made the donation. We have more in this report.
On July 6, 2021, Kevin Sekasweka, 26, was hit by a vehicle, leaving him with a dislocated hip and fractured bone on his right leg. Recently, the family called on well-wishers for a financial support and other logistics. Saturday, July 31, 2021, the Road Safety Ambassadors Zambia RSAZ paid the family a visit. With them was a token amounting to 1,200 kwacha to assist Kelvin seek medical attention at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital. RSAZ staff Thelma Simwaka, on behalf of other officials, handed over the money to the family.
Our contribution, everyone was putting in what they could. And so we collected the amount and it totaled to 1,200 to help with hospital bills and other medications that may be needed.
The family could not hide the joy but thanked the organization, saying the gesture will surely go a long way.
Tutorere kurinke kumbere twarumba kuri bakamurete ababa barotsi batupa rugwasoro ikwamboti leza barereke twarumba maningi mwandistenzo chetekera but vantu va mulungu imwe mwazipereka kuti mukwanise kutitandiza tandizo iyi chintu chopepuka but mwananja ya mulungu chapepuka vantu mupitilize mukatenzeko venango.
Give thanks to Camnet TV and the Road Safety and their partners for the help they have.
It is therefore the hope of the family that Kelvin gets proper medical attention as soon as possible. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
You're watching Camnet TV Main News. We'll take another break. We'll be back with international and sports news after the break.
For too long, Zambian people have endured tough times. High levels of unemployment, lack of freedom, ever-increasing cost of living, poor health facilities, corruption, and injustice. Time and time again, we have been promised a better tomorrow, but things are only getting tougher. My fellow Zambians, someone is listening. Every outcry, every obstacle and pain brought by the trials and tribulations you're facing, he is listening. A leader with a heart for the people of Zambia. Only he can fix what is broken. A leader who stands for unity and prosperity across all ethnic, religious, and gender considerations to live in harmony in a free and democratic society. Change is coming. Change that will restore the country and build it from the ground up. Let's make impactful change by voting Hakainde Ichilema.
Good day to you, our dear esteemed customers. As Zamtel, we're glad to bring something of excitement to you, and it's a promotion we've dubbed Yatu, which simply means it's yours. And in this promotion, we're giving benefits that are tailored to you specifically as a customer, depending on the profile or the segment that you're sitting on as a customer. And in this promotion, we are saying you will get from as low as 13 benefits amounting to over 500%, and it's all for you so that you get more benefits. So to know more about Yatu, stay on.
Yatu is a promotion that offers Zamtel customers amazing benefits that are made just for you. Zamtel customers will get amazing benefits of over 500% bonus back the value that they use when they subscribe to a Yatu offer. Yatu benefits will be usable for Zamtel to Zamtel calls, Zamtel to Zamtel SMSs, and browsing on pay-as-you-go defined rates. For you to access the amazing Yatu offers, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 1 to purchase the offer that best suits you. Zamtel customers will have the ability to actually purchase the Yatu benefit more than once. So this means you can purchase the offer twice, you can purchase the offer 3 times, and the benefits will be accumulative at the end of the day. YATU benefits will be able to be redeemed if you subscribe to the same offer within a 5-day period. So if you have unused benefits from the previous day and the expiry date comes, you can still subscribe to the same offer within 5 days and your benefits will be able to accumulate. How amazing is that? For you to check your YATU benefit balance, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 2 and you'll be able to see your current balance.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Are you a small to medium enterprise looking to advertise your products and services within your community and across Zambia? In these economic times, we are here to help you grow your business. Advertise with us on Camnet Market. Camnet Market is offering lower rates for prime time advertising between 06 to 18 hours every day to give your business an edge under the new normal and beyond. For more details, contact us on the following numbers: 097-975-3010 or 096-296-5883, as well as 096-244-726. You can also reach us via email on info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're watching Camnet TV main news. In international news, almost 200 migrants were rescued off the Libyan coast by the SOS Mediterranean humanitarian organization on Saturday. The 196 migrants, who mostly came from Syria, Eritrea, Nigeria, Cameroon and Ghana, were rescued in 4 different operations. There were 28 women among the rescued, at least 2 of them who were pregnant, and 33 minors, including 2 children under the age of 5. In the first operation on Saturday morning, 57 people were rescued from a rubber dinghy in distress spotted from the deck of the SOS Mediterranean Ocean Viking ship. During the second operation, 54 people were rescued, some of whom had fewer burns. And in other news, thousands of people have protested in Paris and other French cities against a mandatory coronavirus health pass for entry into a wide array of public venues introduced by the government as it battles the 4th wave of infections. Some 3,000 security forces were deployed around the French capital on Saturday for a 3rd weekend of protests against the pass that will be needed to enter restaurants and other places. Here's a roundup of world news.
Almost 200 migrants were rescued off the Libyan coast by the SOS Mediterranean humanitarian organization on Saturday. The migrants, who mostly came from Syria, Eritrea, Nigeria, Cameroon and Ghana, were rescued in 4 different operations. According to SOS Mediterranean, there were 28 women among the rescued, at least 2 of them who were pregnant, and 33 minors, including 2 children under the age of 5. Another 64 migrants on board a wooden boat were rescued in the 3rd operation with the help of the Sea-Watch Seabird aircraft. Migrant boat departures from Libya and Tunisia to Italy and other parts of Europe have increased in recent months with better weather. Many rely on smugglers and risk their lives on the perilous sea journey in overcrowded boats. According to the UN Migration Agency, more than 1,100 people fleeing conflict and poverty in Africa and the Middle East have died this year in the Mediterranean.
It's only 3 days into his presidency, and Pedro Castillo is already facing protests, angry at his choice of prime minister.
Criminal terrorists want to rule the country. It's not fair there's a terrorist as prime minister. That's why we're protesting.
No permitiremos.
We will not allow terrorists to take over our country.
Guido Bellido is being investigated for an alleged apology for terrorism, which is a crime in Peru. In an interview earlier this year, he defended members of the Shining Path, the Maoist rebel group that killed tens of thousands of people from the 1980s onwards. Castillo's choice of Bellido for prime minister or cabinet chief, as it's known in Peru, sent shockwaves around the country. The stock market dropped, along with the value of Peru's currency against the dollar. Critics also say other new ministers have no experience in government.
We can't say it's a lack of intelligence, experience, or that he's never governed and that's why he's making all these mistakes. No, I think there is much more to it, because the president signaled his divisiveness, and all Peruvians will bear the brunt of his irresponsibility.
Well, many people here say they didn't vote for Castillo, but many who did are expressing their anger through social media, saying they voted for him to rule for the people and not for the political party he represents.
So far, President Castillo has also visited victims of an earthquake in the north of the country, telling supporters he'll focus on those left behind.
There are people who have been left behind for a very long time. We can't do much if we don't prioritise our health care. We will give mayors and regional governors a better budget.
Many Peruvians want Castillo to deliver the changes he promised during his election campaign. But it'll be hard for them to trust a president who they say has been making mistakes from day one.
The COVID health passport has been mandatory in France since mid-July, with visitors to leisure and cultural venues like museums having to prove that they've either been vaccinated, tested negative in the previous 48 hours, or recovered from the disease during the previous 6 months. But what's brought tens of thousands of demonstrators out onto the streets for a third successive weekend is the proposal to extend the passport to cover bars and restaurants and make it compulsory for healthcare workers to be vaccinated.
I am a nurse and I've resigned because I think we mustn't be blackmailed. I also think that we shouldn't be told what to do.
It's an obstacle to freedom if now we need a virus pass to fetch groceries, go to the cinema or enjoy life after a grueling job. The virus pass is a real danger for everybody. It's really an antisocial thing.
We are creating a segregated society, and I think it's unbelievable to be doing this in the country of human rights. I've never protested before in my life, but I think our freedom is in danger.
France is in the grip of its fourth wave of COVID infections. More than 24,000 new cases a day is more than double the number of just 1 week ago. But the dilemma between individual liberty and collective solidarity is particularly challenging here.
In France in particular, people read as a violation of égalité, the important pillar of we are all equal. And no one is a second-class citizen just because he or she decides against vaccination, which brings up a problem with solidarity, which is the fraternité pillar of their system, because there are risk groups that need to be protected from those who think it's their personal choice whether they do something for society or not.
There is clear evidence that despite the demonstrations, the vaccine passport law is having the desired effect of driving up vaccination rates. 3 weeks ago, just 40% of French adults were double vaccinated. That's now risen to 52% who've had both jabs. And opinion polls show that 70% of voters support the plan for compulsory vaccination of healthcare workers. The demonstrators are making themselves heard, but they are a vocal minority.
It's now time for sports news. And in sports news, Kurt Zouma is West Ham's primary target, and it is thought the Frenchman is very open to a move to the London Stadium. The difficulty lies in the valuation, with Chelsea thought to want in the region of 25 million and Zouma's wages. If a deal cannot be struck, the 26-year-old is happy to remain at Chelsea, where he has a contract that runs until 2023. West Ham are keeping their options open and have been in talks with Fiorentina over Milenkovic. That story brings us to the end of the news, but we'll take a look at the top stories once again. Family of murdered CADRE speaks out as UPND claims one of the two victims was their member. President Edgar Lungu unleashes the army to curb political violence. Poor management of the graveyard by SOLWEZI Council ANNOY residents. And in international news, nearly 200 migrants rescued off the Libyan coast. And in sports news, West Ham remain in talks with Chelsea over defender Kurt ZOUMA. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from Romans 8, verse 5 to 6, and it reads, "For those who live according to the flesh think about the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit about the things of the Spirit. For the mindset of the flesh is death, but the mindset of the Spirit is life and peace." On that note, we've come to the end of the news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.